Hi there, and thank you for joining me for today's live reading of Drama, Drama, Drama by Cori Cooper. This is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Prologue. Fade in. Exterior. Beaten down vehicle. Day. Pathetic old sedan that has been laughed off the highways of California for almost 20 years and has never fully recovered. Its self-esteem is as saggy as the back fender. One headlight isn't working and the other is dim. Physical attributes are metaphors to years of abuse. Interior. Aftermath of a stupid long road trip, empty wrappers and angst scattered everywhere. Three personages: a father, Terry, in the driver's seat, a mother, Terry, in the passenger seat, and languishing in the backseat is a teen girl, Carmen, who is so charismatic and gorgeous it will be a tremendous challenge to find an actress who will be able to fit the part. So, yeah, good luck with that. Snacks are running low, morale is even lower, at least for Carmen. The parental units are immune to their offspring's tortured sighs. Exterior. As the light fades into the west, the sedan sputters along a dusty highway that is so cracked and faded that there are no longer stripes on the road. Every few feet, the sedan hits a pothole that jars the prehistoric vehicle so much it makes the fabulous teen girl's, Carmen, face wrinkle into lines that might permanently damage her angelic features. The parental figures are oblivious. Carmen rests a hand on the window, but draws it back quickly. The window is hot to the touch, not the good kind of hot that begs for catcalls, the horrible kind that makes a person's hair limp and unmanageable, despite copious amounts of celebrity hairspray that Raoul sells for $95 a can at his ridiculously overpriced salon in Beverly Hills. Exterior, the light of day. The sun doesn't just shine in this desolate place, it torches everything it touches. It's not illuminating the landscape for attractive ambiance and necessary photosynthesis, it wants things to burn. If the role of villain hadn't already been cast by the father, Terry, and mother, Terry, the son, would absolutely get a call back. Exterior, the land of desolation. Dust devils swirl in the distance. Sad little scrubby brush bushes that have lost all will to survive dot the edge of the road. The scenery is flat, dry, dirty, and uglier than mediocrity. Nothing can thrive in conditions such as these. The setting is a powerful metaphor for Carmen's life from here until the end of time. Act 1, Scene 1. Fade in, exterior, crappy car, middle of nowhere, overly hot afternoon. My life is officially over. And no wonder. Whenever a person is forced from their natural habitat, the life to which they were made and born, everything and all that is familiar, into the crypt of broken dreams, slow demise is the only path forward. More to the point, the humans who call themselves my parents have chosen to move from Los Angeles, the city of angels, bright lights, fancy restaurants, shopping, culture, theaters, and Hollywood, to a town too small for a traffic light. This is nothing short of a flippin' Greek tragedy. A very, very bad, bad, bad idea. I have explained the situation to my so-called guardians about 1.5 million times over the last 6 weeks. I made masterful PowerPoint presentations, covered their mirrors with notes, and put together an original choreographed skit. But all I got in return was good-natured shrugs and way too many chirpy affirmations that eventually I would love to learn to love the small town as much as I love the big city. I can't even with that. Anyway, this is their fault. These orchestrators of my birth are the very beings who exposed me to a world of glitter and fame. If they didn't want me to drown in a sea of despair at the thought of moving, they should have never inhabited California in the first place. It is entirely because of them that I can't adjust, cope, and overcome. They should see that turning my back on the birthplace of all my hopes and dreams to settle for crop fields and dust is beyond ludicrous. They can't, though. They're too busy peering through rose-colored glasses and donning hats of nostalgia to see that they are making me run the gauntlet of the very same experience they had and despised. Well, it's the same, except opposite. My mom and dad grew up in a small town, specifically this small town, so obviously both of them were brainwashed from a very young age. They left it for Los Angeles, by choice, I might add, which is also the opposite of what they're doing to me. And they never learned to love or even tolerate the city, yet they expect me to embrace this small town. Put down roots, braid my hair in pigtails, and start wearing plaid. My parents have been trying to run back to this horrible little mess of a habitation for at least half of my life. They're more delusional than they look if they think I'm not going to do the exact same thing with Los Angeles the second I graduate from high school. I don't want to live in a town where everyone knows your name and the name of your grandfather and his grandfather and his grandfather. I want to go back to the promised land where nobody cares. It was deliciously selfish. I thrive in a city where waving and smiling at someone results in words that make your ears burn. A place where you need an appointment to go clothes shopping and you spend more money on shoes than the nameless masses spend on their cars. A glorious metropolis where driving from one location to the other is done at outrageously high speeds or a pace that resembles a parking lot. There is no in between. Oh, Los Angeles, I will miss you until the day I die, which might be soon. Look at that! I fling my arm between my parents' seats and aim it out the windshield. My best friend, Skylar, yelps in protest. The arm I flung was attached to the hand holding my phone, where she is making this journey with me on FaceTime. For as long as the data holds out. That's the shopping mall, Mom says. Dad glances at her with a smile that makes me want to gag. We're almost home. I turn the phone so I can see Skylar. This will never be my home. Never. She shakes her head solemnly. Mom goes on as if I said nothing. She is getting increasingly proficient at ignoring me. I'd be worried about the lack of attention if my whole life wasn't falling into tiny little pieces all around me. That's slightly more consuming at the moment. It's the only one for about 30 miles, so I imagine that's where we will do the majority of our shopping for clothes and shoes. I imagine I would rather wear a dress made out of paper bags from the Piggly Wiggly than adorn myself in rags from such a tumble-down building. My mother has no soul. Carmen, Skylar breathes. I'm so sorry. This is worse than I thought. I'm going to flip the station to Enya. She reaches out of view for just a moment, and the haunting melody of melancholy fills the car. Skylar, will you turn that down, please? Dad calls over his shoulder as he passes a tractor going the same speed I usually walk. Enya makes me sleepy. Skylar does with a host of sympathetic glances in my direction. It was a valiant effort, Sky. All that is left for us to do is stare out the window in abject misery. I turn Skylar to face the windshield and let my head drop like a stone onto the back of the seat. Dad snorts, Mom nudges him, and I don't spare a thought for either of them. They don't deserve it. They made their choices, and now I get to make mine. There are a few moments of haunting, low-volume, Enya-filled mourning before anyone speaks again. Far too few moments, in my opinion. I need more time to contemplate the perfect graveyard of buried hopes that is about to become my life. Oh, Terry, look! I forgot about that. Mom's face melts into mush. She reaches over to clasp Dad's fingers. Carmen, can you turn me around? Skylar asked. Your mom and Dad are holding hands, and it is severely traumatizing me. Oh, ew. I aim the phone out the side window and follow it with my eyes so I don't have to see them either. My parental figures should know better than to do stuff like that in public. Carmen, sweetie, do you see the butte? The what? I didn't see a single thing this entire drive that even remotely resembles a butte. The only thing that has changed in the last hour scenery-wise is that we drove over a rise and a lumpy wannabe mountain popped out of the middle of some bushes like a hairless old man. There is for sure nothing beautiful about that. Look, sweetie, there. Mom points, and I aim Skylar in that direction to see if she can tell what my mom is talking about. Does she mean that hill? Skylar asks. The squatty, bald one? That is the butte, Mom explains. It's really... What's the green stuff all over the side? I wrinkle my nose. It's like a fat dude wearing a bright green tube top. No one should ever have to witness something like this. Why are you staring at it with misty eyes of yore? Mom laughs and leans into Dad. Is that what I was doing? I'll have to tone down those misty eyes of yore. Carmen, Skylar says, as calmly as she is able in the face of such torturous circumstances. Your parents are touching again. Can I please look at something else? Dad's chuckle fills the car as I acquiesce to Skylar's request and press the phone against the side window so she can take in the abysmal scenery. Now she can feel my pain on a more personal level. Mom finally stops laughing and turns to face me, wiping her eyes on the sleeve of her sweater. It's John Deere green. Excuse me? I'm pretty sure she quit speaking English just now. It's a country song by Joe Diffie. When your dad and I were in high school, it was really popular, so someone climbed the butte and painted the words, Billy Bob loves Charlene, in letters 3 feet high. In John Deere green, Dad adds with a laugh. It's cute, Mom smiles, and it's iconic to our town, like the Hollywood sign. No, Skylar gasps. I turn the phone so we can exchange horror-filled expressions. The disbelief all over Skylar's face is like a mirror to my very soul. Oh no, my mother did not. She could not. She. Does your mom really think that a pretend mountain painted with retro country music lyrics is the same as the Hollywood sign? Skylar whispers. Yes. Yes, she does. That's it. This is proof eternal that I have been abducted to an alien planet by inhuman forms posing as my parents. It's official. I'm not going to live to see my 18th year. There's no way I'll be able to flourish in a home with parents who really think this freaky Billy Bob paint is at the same level as the Hollywood sign. I cannot survive in a town such as this. I will waste away like a tumbleweed and end up tossed across the highway at 5-mile intervals. The tragedy overwhelms me. With a groan of agony, I fling myself back in the seat and throw my arm over my eyes. Something on the seat jabs into my back in the most uncomfortable way, but potential chronic back pain is a secondary problem. Are you hungry? Do you want some more corn nuts? Mom holds out an individual pack of plain, boring corn nuts. I will not take it. Even if I was languishing in the dunes of the Sahara with nothing to eat or drink, I would not take those corn nuts as a matter of principle. One should know better than to console their suffering offspring with an unflavored bag of stale corn. Corn nuts cannot administer to a mind racked with eternal torment. I wail into my arms. Dad holds out his hand. I'll take some. Carmen, stick with me. We are going to get through this. Skylar tries to console me, but it is no use. Those are just words which are easy for her to say because she still has her life. I am beyond consoling. I close my eyes and tuck my face into my armpit. Oh, yikes. That was a terrible idea. When Mom and Dad first announced that we were moving, a day I marked in black on my calendar and think of only when I listen to my horror movie playlist, I went on a bathing fast. Well, first I went on a hunger strike, like Gandhi, but I apparently lacked the willpower to do that for long enough to make a difference, especially when faced with a cupboard full of Oreos. Next was the speaking fast. Not like I spoke quickly, that's not what I mean. More like I fasted from speaking. That one went better. I managed 5 weeks without speaking a single word to either of my parents. But then they tricked me by making an offer I couldn't refuse. Premiere tickets for Skylar and me to go to the first screening of the new DTRJ movie. They are diabolical. We went, and I loved it, but then I had to do something else to demonstrate to my parents what this move was doing to me on the inside. Hence, the bathing fast. The consequences are putrid. I try to endure the stench for a few more breaths. Just a few more will make my point, I think, but I can't do it. I turn my head to the side and gag. Where's the Febreze? There's always some around here somewhere. Mom likes the smell of clean linen. I fumble around the floor, then poke my head under the seats. It isn't there. Now I distinctly remember Mom taking it into the truck stop bathroom with her. Sigh. I must speak. With Herculean effort, I squeeze out the words. Mother, where did you put the Febreze? She hands it back without looking at me. Her and Dad are too busy babbling about a field and that tree and oh, look, a bench. Ugh. For such intelligent, educated people, my parents are tragically unobservant. Don't they see me deteriorating in their back seat? Don't they even care? Of course they don't. Why would they? The celebrated team of Terry and Terry just got an obscene amount of money granted to them for research so they could finally leave California and move back to Podunk, USA. Their dream. How could they possibly see through the swirling heart-shaped clouds around their heads to notice how much I suffer? What about my dreams? I'm just their only offspring. What do I matter? Maybe you should fast from something else. Skylar watches me administer the Febreze liberally. Like, maybe you could fast from saying the word nugget. That shouldn't be too hard. I squirt the Febreze twice more, refusing to look at Skylar, and then resume my position, arms flung overhead, back draped awkwardly over the seat, face tucked into armpit, and then I force another groan. Oh, look! Dad swerves the car as he points to something out Mom's window. He chuckles as he rights the car. Did you see that, Carmen? I roll my eyes. You mean, did I see how you almost crashed us into oblivion? Yes, I did. Dad shakes his head. No, sweetheart, I meant, did you see that elk? It was the size of a Buick, standing right on the white line. Oh, Terry, Mom clasps her hands under her chin. It's been so long since we've seen wildlife. Skylar laughs in disbelief. I sit up in order to correct the blatant wrong that we all just experienced. Whatever, Mother. You have driven through downtown LA at rush hour. You've seen wildlife, chaos, like nothing this place has ever seen. If you want wild, you better head back to the city. Oh, Carmen. Mom reaches over to rub my arm. You are so silly. You're going to love this place. I promise. Well, that's one promise Mom is about to break because I already decided to loathe this place. Unadulterated loathing. Pure and strong. Seriously, I don't care if Timothy Chalamet has a second home here. He doesn't. I follow him on Instagram. This place is Death Valley to me. Emphasis on the death. I aim the screen at my face so Skylar can see the gravity etched there. I will never love this place. Never, she echoes. Honey, Mom whispers so low she's almost mouthing the words. I bet your phone is close to being out of batteries. You've had it on for hours. Why don't you let Skylar go now? Portable charger. I hold it up for her to see. I made sure it was full so Skylar doesn't miss a moment of this gut-wrenching road trip into the fiery depths of Hades. Yeah, Skylar adds, though you could have spared me that truck stop bathroom. I'm going to have nightmares for the rest of my life. Mom sucks in a sharp breath. I didn't take her in the bathroom with me, Mother. I roll my eyes. I just showed her the facility so that she would be able to sympathize with my mortal pain, and then I put her in my purse and the sound muted. Thank goodness, Mom says, then covers her mouth part way and tips her head towards me. But what I meant is, it would be nice to enjoy the rest of this drive as a family. Hint, hint, Dad grins. I gasp, my hand pressed into my heart. Skylar is family. She is. Of course she is. Practically our second daughter in every way. But Carmen, sweetie, you've been on the phone with her since we left Los Angeles. We're almost home now, and this is important to us. I'd like to savor this moment as just our little family. I turn the phone to face me again. This is not my home and never will be. Never, Skylar says. Carmen Elizabeth Hurst, my dad begins, but he doesn't get to finish because Skylar interrupts him. No, it's cool. I need to finish up this history test anyway. Mom's eyes widen. Skylar, have you been in school all this time you've been on the phone? Yeah, she says, like, duh. Mom can't even answer because she's too flustered to choose words that make sense. I'll call you as soon as we get there. I wave to Skylar. Dad shakes his head. We'll be there in about 7 minutes, Carmen. I ignore him. I'll miss you. Good luck on your test. Tell Jace I love him. Mom sighs. A black and blank phone screen replaces the face of my smiling best friend, the only person who understands how much agony is twisted into the fibers of my being. A sense of loneliness washes over me, like a wave of polluted ocean water. It almost steals my ability to breathe in and out. Only 6 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days until I turn 18 and I can start living my real life again.